White dive on him.
This is twice now the Celtics have been first to the floor.
They try to save with Horford. Unbelievable.
Boston first to the floor. So good.
Brown fakes, fires up the three. Bang! Tatum dives on the floor. Everybody dives. Jaylen Brown with the flush. Blocked by Porzingis. He's doing it all. Tatum spinning, driving, layup. Got it. Washington drives. Blocked by White. Oh, what a block from Derrick White.
Wayne Spooney here, first to the floor with Jake Eisenberg. Jake, it is well and truly the offseason.
Yes, sir.
We're in for it. How's it going, man?
Going good. You'll see the scar on my face is coming through really nicely here after walking into a wall while aggressively typing about Baylor Schreiman and Sam Hauser. So that's good. That's good. I was telling Spoonie before we hopped on, I was researching HGH yesterday because while the ankle is healing well from surgery, I'm developing all these other injuries. And I'm like, am I just getting old? Is my body falling apart? What is the downside of taking HGH? I'm not sure yet. It doesn't sound too bad. And so why not?
It definitely worked for Barry Bonds. Right?
Yeah.
You know,
come on.
He's still alive. Or at least testosterone. Can I just get a little bit of that, man? Like my chest is hairless. You got to hook me up, doc. Like this is ridiculous. I'm 38.
Yeah, like they're not gonna test us for PEDs for the 2026
Right.
Celtics media 3-on-3 tournament. We may as well get on the Al Horford program and get some of these anti-aging, quick healing things that I can inject directly into my bloodstream. So if anyone has got to connect, anyone has some testimonials or some what not to do when getting old or taking steroids, please let us know. But Spoonie, the Discord every day is having the same conversation. How bad/good are the Boston Celtics going to be? And are we going to get Cam Boozer, Darren Peterson, or AJ Dybanster? And there's a wide range of opinions.
I think I'm falling in the we are not doing enough to embrace the tank. Like I really think we need to dive headfirst into it because, man, even if it's pre-lottery, if we have like sixth or seventh or eighth best odds, that is such a valuable asset to do stuff with. And, we're going to talk about this. We got a great listener voicemail that we're very appreciative of, but like the odds, like the chances of them winning the championship are zero, right? And you're in a position where you can kind of cut costs, retool, and then give yourself like a blue chip, primo, centerpiece of like a star player type trade asset. Or if you hit top 3 pick, young superstar to take over for when Tatum ages out. Like we just got to do it. And I know it's hard because Jaylen and Derrick White are good, but that said, I don't think it's going to happen. I think boring, like mid-40s wins is where I think we end up.
Yeah, that feels kind of what they're trying to do. But like the Brad Stevens has built like the inverse of the Death Star. Like to take down the Death Star, it's like a very well hidden exhaust that you have to hit directly. Inside, you got to send in Luke Skywalker down this very narrow pathway. It's like Brad Stevens built the exhaust to blow up the Death Star on the outside, and it's really easy to hit. And that's the big man rotation. So it's like that's the very obvious flaw in the team. We're going to find out how important big men are because that's the clear flaw in this team. But you're right, and like I've been team keep Jaylen, and while I'm team keep Jaylen, I'm also very much aware of how difficult it is going to be to build a team around 2 supermax guys. And in a season like this where you don't have Tatum, you're, resetting the second apron, the most obvious and easiest way to add real talent to this team is going to be through the draft. And I love Spanish Kawhi. I love Hugo Gonzalez. But like, we talked about what what we think he's going to become. And it's like, can he be the 7th or 8th man, like a legit guy on a championship rotation? Would be a pretty fucking good outcome. Like, the higher you pick, the more likely you're going to find someone that can really step into a starting role. And you just have to be at least the 1.8% chance. Can you be the Dallas Mavericks? Like you want to at least have a chance. And what's the point of making the 8th seed and then getting destroyed again? Like, imagine making the 8th seed and the team's just a mess and you have to lose to the Knicks again. Or you sneak into the 7th seed and you have to lose to the Knicks again. I would much rather have a 2% chance at the number 1 pick than lose to the Knicks in 6 in the first round. That sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Dude, I can't do that again. That would be absolutely horrible. And, okay, I think the prevailing understanding about NBA basketball for good reason is that, like, young guys don't win championships. Oklahoma City just won a championship with two of their 4 best players on rookie contracts. With J-Dub and Chet. So, like, if you have...
Casey Wallace as well.
Yeah, Casey Wallace, huge part of that team, too, and he's on his rookie deal. So, if you have, like, the infrastructure to kind of make their jobs easier than their jobs will be when they're 26, you can have some of your stars be on their rookie contract still. So, at first, I know we had discussions about, like, well, even if you get, like, the 5th pick, is that guy going to be ready? Maybe not. Maybe he won't be ready till Tatum's like 35. Maybe he'll never be ready. But I also, like, we have proof that your 3rd best player can be a 22-year-old guy as long as you do it the right way and you hit on that draft pick. And that's the most important thing. But I think I just keep coming back to, like, okay, but maybe we don't even take the pick. If we have the 4th pick in the draft, it's like, maybe we go get somebody with, Hauser and Pritchard's contracts combined, and we can get somebody absolutely ridiculous. You just don't know. And I just think from an asset standpoint, it just completely changes the trade portfolio of the team. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Whether you keep the guy or you trade the guy, and a Jaylen Brown trade, or a Derrick White trade that we haven't really wanted to make, but now you can aggregate salaries. You can actually trade Jaylen plus Hauser for Giannis, and you throw in the 6th overall pick. That's a lot more enticing to the Bucks that have no draft picks, right? Just as an example. Like, I think that Brad only wants to trade, and I think it only makes sense to trade Jaylen for, like, true blue chip talent, because that was my thing. I'm like, if people think that I'm speaking out of both sides of my mouth, it's like I didn't want to trade Jaylen for Dylan Harper, but if you still have Jaylen, then the guy you pick at 8th overall, his job's going to be so much easier than if Jaylen was gone. Like, you have to replace a number 2 guy on a championship team. That's fucking hard. If you have Jaylen and Jayson, the jobs of everybody else on the team are a lot easier. So that's where that comes in. We've got some Eric Weiss is a straight lotto team. We're gonna jump into it. The East definitely feels like it's also falling apart around us as the days go on as well. Like, and that's probably the biggest challenge. Like, if this team was in the West, we'd have no problems, honestly. We'd have, like, a legit chance, I think, at getting into, like, the worst 5 records in the NBA. But the East, day by day, feels like it's getting worse. But yeah, so we're gonna do our tiers. Do you want to kick that off? You got any other thoughts on our general philosophy here?
No, I think I'm doing a lot of projection here. I have some hot takes about the East, if I'm being honest.
Let's do it.
But I think the most obvious one is Cleveland, probably a step above everybody else. And I'm sure Knicks fans will say, like, hey, we went further than they did in the playoffs. They ran into Indy, which ended up being an absolute buzzsaw. And, like, Garland wasn't healthy. I think Mobley missed some time in that series. So I think if Cleveland can finally just, like, get healthy at the right time, to me, they're the clear favorite in the East. And from a regular season standpoint, I think they'll run away with the 1 seed like they did this season, essentially.
Yeah, see, regular season, I think I'd be very surprised if the Cavs don't get that 1 seed. I don't think that they're that far ahead of the Knicks though. So you lose Ty Jerome and you bring in Lonzo Ball. That's essentially the swap that they made. And from a regular season point of view, I actually think that's a downgrade just because in the regular season, Ty Jerome was absurd. Like how many nights were we watching when the Celtics weren't playing and we're like trying to catch up to the 1 seed and Ty Jerome just goes off for like 25 on like 70% true shooting. He was insane night in, night out. Now playoff wise, you saw the downsides of one, he couldn't make a shot to save his life. And two, he's a tiny guard that like gets picked on in the playoffs. Lonzo, from a playoff perspective, I think is a real upgrade assuming he can stay healthy. And then on top of that, I wonder if we see some shooting regression from the Cavs. Another thing, every single night, they were shooting 40%, 40%, 40%. Everybody was hitting career highs. Now, if you're a Cavs fan, you're like, Mobley, I'm becoming a Mobley defender. People are out on him, and he's 23, 24, and I'm like, this is how I felt when Jaylen and Jayson were, losing in the conference finals in the bubble. These guys are so young. They're so far away from their prime. And everything we know about Mobley, hard worker, he's gotten better every season. There's definitely going to be more levels to his game. Garland as well, still young. And then the chemistry of Hunter actually having a full offseason. Guys like that come in the trade deadline, often it's hard to find their rhythm and connectiveness. So with the full training camp with Hunter, you get Lonzo in there, another year under the Atkinson thing. I still would have them at number one. But the Knicks, again, you got that chemistry point, and then they're just deeper now. Deeper. Mitchell Robinson only played 17 games last season. Like, even, I know he's injury prone, but you probably get minimum 40. Like, if you just roll the dice, your median outcome is probably 40 to 50 games from him. And he was just, I hate to say it because I just like wasn't a Robinson guy, but he was the skeleton key for them in that series and for them in the playoffs. So if they have him for 50 games and not 17, you add Yabu, you add Clarkson. I'm not a Clarkson guy, but Yabu regular season wise, that's going to be just another guy that can actually play. And Mike Brown will play Deuce McBride. And I think that he'll actually play these guys. And so I think that they wouldn't stun me to get the 1 seed. I'd pick them to be 2. And then this is more what we're talking about. Playoffs we'll talk about down the line. But I can't fully trust the Cavs in the playoffs yet. But if they don't make the finals this year, it's time to make real changes.
Yeah, I think you got to move Garland at that point. I think the two small guard experiment will be
Allen
a failure. Yeah, and Allen just build around Mitchell and Mobley. Yeah, I'm surprised people are out on Mobley. I haven't seen much of that, but I mean, he got so much better this year. I think this is easily his best year of his career. They completely changed the way they used him. They started putting him on ball. They're running inverse pick and rolls with him. They're letting him bring the ball up, and he was awesome at it. So I don't know how you can watch this dude essentially turn into like KG Light and be like, not that guy. And I get it's based on his playoff performance, but presumably he works hard enough. He's going to learn to shoot it well enough. The handle's going to get better. He's going to get stronger. He's already a DPOY level defender. So I don't know what's not to love about that guy. And I just think with the big four there, for a regular season team, to me, they just have fewer holes than the Knicks, who again can still be attacked. Cat, defensively with Brunson, we've talked about it a ton. I just think teams know how to attack this version of the Knicks some, although Cleveland has a little bit of that issue as well. It's just Allen and Mobley can cover up a lot of the warts in the regular season. So you've kind of convinced me. I'm low on the Knicks just because it's hard for me. I just hate them, right?
Same.
It's tough, but you're right. Like the Knicks are right there. I'd probably, well, let me ask you this. Are the Knicks closer to Cleveland or are they closer to the Magic?
I think they're closer to Cleveland. I have these two as a clear tier 1 to me, at least for winning the conference. Now, Magic, do we both have the Magic at number 3?
Yes.
Yeah, I would, for regular season wins, I'd move them. I could see them getting there, so I wouldn't be mad at anyone for putting them in that top tier for wins. they're going to have a top 5 defense, maybe higher. Like they had guys miss so much time last season. Suggs missed like half the season. Obviously, Franz and Paolo missed like 6+ weeks. You bring in Bane, who defensively, I think, KCP was still a dog, but Bane's a fine, solid defender, and he's going to fit in really well in this ecosystem. But I don't know if it's a hot take. I don't see, like, they're going to be better on offense. Zach Lowe's favorite stat: they haven't had a top 20 offense in 12 years, or since 2012. I think I'm willing to. I think I'd like to bet on them being a bottom half offense again, because I love Bane. He's not solving all of their problems offensively on his own. I'm continuing to plant my flag on Paolo Banchero is closer to capping out as a top 15 guy and I don't see top 5 first team All NBA guy. I see like more high end, like consistently making All NBA, but not squeezing into the first team All NBA range. Like unless Franz and Paolo learn to shoot, then their offense is capped. Bane can't solve all those problems just with his own shooting. And I haven't seen anything from Paolo in particular for his whole career to indicate that he's going to become a good shooter. But really good regular season defense, talent, bad East. Like if they ended up with the 1 seed, that also wouldn't surprise me, just because I think that that's just such a high floor night in, night out in the regular season.
Yeah, man. I wrote something a long time ago. I think it was the 21-22 year when we kind of stumbled out the gate, but the defense was still good. And it was essentially like, if you have a top 3 defense, it's very hard not to win 50 games. And the Magic, like, they just got murdered. Like the offense was so bad that it kind of screwed with that rule a little bit, but presumably they're going to have better health. I think they're a shoe-in for 50 wins. I'm with you that, like, it's going to look really ugly still some nights unless Paulo can shoot the damn ball. Franz, like, I don't know what the hell's going on, man. That injury screwed him because he was shooting the hell out of the ball, and then he had that, not labrum. It was the, what did he have? Him and Paulo.
It may have been labrum.
Or not meniscus. Was it
I'm not aware of the name.
They
both did obliques, but
yeah,
Franz had a shoulder injury the year before, which was what tracks with his shot being broken. And I was really enjoying through the first 2 seasons of his career I think Franz will be better than Paolo guy. But that's when he was shooting 36% from 3 over his first 2 seasons on difficult shots, pull-ups, and the better defender, playmaker. And then his shot broke, sub 30% back-to-back years. And if he's going to be that type of shooter, then Paolo will be better and it won't even be close. But I thought that Franz was going to do the opposite and coming out as a rookie and sophomore and being a legit shooter at 35, 36 on that type of shot profile. I was like, this guy's got it, man. And then it broke, completely broken. Couldn't fucking get close to making a 3-point shot in that Celtics series.
And I think the true concern for me is the shot looks different too.
Yes.
Like it's got some Fultzy stuff going on with it, and he seems pretty fragile. Confidence-wise about it too, whereas I think Paulo, the shot looks, normal. It looks fine, and he shot it really well against us in 5 games, which is essentially meaningless. But he was, willing to fire him up. And man, it was just ugly with Franz. So that really concerns me. But you're right with the defensive floor. Like they're gonna win a ton of regular season games so long as they stay healthy. But like, Suggs is very, very important for them. And like, he's starting to have a track record here of not being able to stay healthy. I think Bane sort of limits how valuable Suggs is to them like he can kind of hedge a little bit on what they lose when Suggs goes down, but they need him. We'll see if some of their kind of young guys, like if Black takes a step, starts to shoot the ball, then they start to get real interesting, I think. But yeah, I'm with you. I think Cleveland, Knicks, and then like little tier break, Magic. I have a couple teams, or I think a legitimate tier break, I should say. I have a couple teams up with the Magic. So who do you have fourth?
I was going to say on Paolo, like he shot the shit out of the ball in the playoffs, and he still had a 51.7% true shooting. Like brutal. Massive outlier 3-point series for him. And I got into it with a Magic fan on Twitter, and they're like, who cares about efficiency in the playoffs? And I've put my hand up to being like, it's an overrated thing. Individual efficiency for superstars in the playoffs, not as important. But there's obviously, at some point it has to matter. And also, like if you contrast it with Tatum, the elite defense and the elite playmaking, Paolo right now is not an elite defender and not an elite playmaker. So the scoring efficiency is going to matter more. That's just an aside. I have the Hawks next. Actually, no, I'm doing it. Sam LaFrance, I know they're your team, but my Detroit Pistons are going to be the team that I lean into and going to be my thank watch team. Going to be the Boston Pistons for my 25-26 season. I'm a believer. Cade Cunningham. What are your thoughts?
Man, I do not. I have two teams above the Pistons.
Okay.
One of which is the aforementioned Hawks, who I think are just like loaded. They lack true like star power, I think, along that team, unless Jaylen Johnson takes kind of another mini leap. The Pistons, man, I think I'm with Bill Simmons.
Oh.
I think it's going to be a downgrade from from Beasley to Robinson. Beasley was so good for them. And I know Robinson, like he's the same level of shooter. He adds a little extra, like in his dribble handoff stuff. He's a better passer than Beasley, but I thought Beasley really competed at the point of attack for them last year. And he's not a good defensive player, but he's better than Duncan Robinson. And like he just hit massive shots for them all year, and he just kind of had like that fuck you attitude that fit in with the team really, really well. And I know that's kind of dumb and like it's sort of a boomer take, but he felt like he was just really important to them culturally. And now here comes Duncan Robinson, right? So, and I have never been a Karis LeVert guy. I hate Karis LeVert's game. But the flip side of that argument is like, Ron Holland looked awesome in Summer League. Like, if he can shoot the ball, none of this really matters because he's going to be a legitimate starter. You think Asar is going to probably take another step. And he had some moments in the playoffs where he looked really awesome. And then, Duren is like 22 years old too. Like I thought he really started to figure it out. The playoffs at times were a little rocky, but he also had some really, really awesome games too. So they're young, man, like going through it, like, beef stew. Like if he shoots it again, if he finds the jump shot, I'm saying if he shoots it a lot, he doesn't have to shoot it. Yeah. He's a very solid backup big man. He would start on our team very, very easily. I have, this is a crazy, you're gonna kill me. You're gonna be like, you're dumb.
Wizards.
I have the
Alex Sarr.
Yeah. The superstar story begins with Alex Sarr next year, baby. Let's go. Bub Carrington and Alex Sarr. I have the Bucks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's stay on the Pistons for a second, and then we'll go to the Bucks.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. I like that though. That is spicy. I have the Bucks lower. I had the Bucks. I had Hawks, Pistons, Bucks. So I had the Bucks at 6. So not that much lower.
Yeah.
But you've got them home court, and that's fair. But we'll stick on the Pistons just for a moment here. So, I mean, I love it. The Malik Beasley hype train. I mean, he obviously he was one of the best shooters in the league. He played all 82. He definitely defended better than his reputation led him to believe. Now we're talking regular season. This has real value, weight to it, because in the playoffs he did what he always does and turned into a pumpkin. Couldn't guard, couldn't hit a shot, and maybe he was concerned because his dentist was waiting for him at his apartment when he finished games. So maybe that was
where's the money?
Yeah, hard to say. But Jaden Ivey only played 30 games. Obviously, you lose Schroeder, but Schroeder was only a deadline guy as well. Only played 28 games for them, and so they really struggled early in the season. It looked like they were going to be the same, and then they kicked off. So if you kind of normalize that first part of the season, and then you can even bake in a little bit of regression, and I think they can still be close. But I'm the opposite. I think Cade's got a real chance to end the season as the second best player in the East. I wouldn't bet on it. I think it's probably Brunson and Mitchell are going to be ahead of him, but he was awesome. He was all NBA last season. He's 24. This is the time. He finally had a normal season, a normal coach, normal offensive and defensive infrastructure. and bang, you saw the dude that people were so excited about. So you have like a legit star on the team. Ivy only playing 30 games, and then I'm a big Duncan Robinson guy, at least as far as being able to replace Beasley a little. That handoff stuff, I think that'll be good to implement. And then just the overall youth, I can just bake in Cade, Duran, Stewart, Assar, Holland. Like they've it's so many rotation guys. And Assar came on late as well, and it was so obvious he was a rookie. I mean, a young guy in the playoffs, like picking up so many fouls against Brunson. Like that dude, he's such a good bet to take a real leap and become truly impactful. So I'm just baking in the young guy leap from two of those guys, and then Cade. I'm a believer. So give me the Pistons at 4, but I like it. Yeah, look, Malik Beasley, he gives a shit, man. He gave a shit last season.
Exactly. Yeah. He's a guy that just does stuff. They drafted Chaz Lanier, I think at the top of the second round, who was like one of my picks for the Celtics at 32, just because he's like 24-year-old elite 3-point shooting guy who like knows how to play defense. Like he's not a good defender, but he's not going to get cooked out there, and he can shoot the shit out of the ball. So I wouldn't be shocked if he like sneaks in at, to like 10, 12 minutes as like a solid role player for them too. So they're really deep. They're really awesome. Like that team is really just Cade, like they need him to do so much for them unless Ivy takes a leap.
Ivy, it's a bet on Ivy. Well, they need to find out one way or another, right? And this is a good season for the Pistons, right? Like they're not at a point where they need to make the conference finals or it's going to be a failure season. It's like, can they just remain competent and have another like mid-40s season and build as young guys? But that's the flaw on this team. If you're picking it, it's like, okay, Cade is the only like legit ball handler. Caris LeVert, spin the wheel. Which guy are you getting tonight? Are you getting Michael Jordan? Are you getting Dennis Schroeder? You never know what you're getting from LeVert, but yeah, that's fair to be concerned about that part of that team. Welcome in, Donkey. We're ranking Eastern Conference teams this season, and we're going to jump into the Bucks, which Spoonie has 4th, higher than me, after this ad read that I pull up.
Here, let me hit the thing for you.
I got it. Okay. Prize Picks time, baby. The Sox, big W against the Dodgers yesterday. I think that's the place to go. Roman, just go more. Pick the stat. Just go more on our boy. Potential oozing with potential. We love to see it. And then of course we're gonna be tapping into our WNBA, our Caitlin Clarks. Paige has been cooking a little bit as well. But yeah, download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. All right. Chuck it in there. Look, it's off-season. Patriots training camp as well. Demario Douglas looking good out there. It's all coming together, Spoonie.
Pop's my guy. I drafted him in fantasy last year. That's my dude. In like the 18th round.
Oh yeah, it's a deep league.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. It's a stupid league. I think we have 20 roster spots. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Bucks. All right.
Bucks.
My sell on the Bucks is kind of ironic since I just said, man, the problem with the Pistons is they're so Cade heavy. But dude, they just kill teams when Giannis is on the court.
Yes.
It's absolutely ridiculous. They're like 15 points better per 100 with him on the court. We don't like Kevin Porter Jr. We are not Kevin Porter Jr. guys, but Giannis, Gary Trent, and Kevin Porter on the court together, only 160 minutes, plus 30 net rating. So when it was those three guys, essentially when Dame didn't play with Giannis and they had the other two guys, they were incredible. They crushed teams. Giannis and Gary Trent plus 7.1. And then like Miles Turner is essentially the best like non-superstar center fit next to Giannis. He could protect the rim ish. Like I feel like
Yeah.
he's a little overrated at protecting the rim, but
He
he's not
is.
bad. He's not Brook Lopez, but he's fine. And he shoots threes, and I was like really impressed. I thought he made some growth last year with like just kind of putting the ball on the floor for a couple dribbles, getting into a mid-range jumper, punishing littles when they switch onto him, because you could always just switch a little onto him and he would do nothing against you. But last year he actually made teams pay. They got Green on that nice deal, and Cole Anthony I think is kind of interesting if he's like in the plans for them. So I don't know, man. I just think it was like really weird with Dame last year, and it just never really worked. And you took the ball out of Giannis's hands and made him the screen setter. I think just going back to full on Giannis's team, Giannis ball. Like I think they have nothing in the playoffs. They're not going to do shit. But I just think that's a recipe to win a bunch of regular season games.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel similarly to the Bucks, like with the Celtics. If you take Giannis off this team, they're the worst team in the NBA. Like you put Tatum back on this Celtics team, and I'm like, they're probably going to make the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't care that Kato is the big man. That's what happens when you have perennial first team All NBA guys on your team. And Giannis is that dude. Regular season wise, especially when you're not like honing in on these very obvious weaknesses. Like Giannis has his stretch big. He can fly around defensively with Turner, as he said. It is weird in that, like, are there I don't know. I was going to say Kyle Kuzma in this, but their four best players are 4s and 5s with Bobby Portis, Kuzma, Turner, Giannis, but it's hard for me to put Kuzma in that category after what I saw him do for the Milwaukee Bucks after he got traded. The theory of Kyle Kuzma, it's like you still remember him on that Lakers bubble team playing well, and it's like, that guy's pretty good.
It was a long time ago,
It was. I know, no question. So, but I have a little bit of ball handling. Adding Cole Anthony was like pretty important to actually just to have someone else that can dribble. But yeah, dude, they have legit shooting on this team. Gary Trent, elite. AJ Green, elite. And you just surround Giannis with that and a couple of guys that fight defensively. Taurean Prince is going to hit his open threes. Regular season wise, I'm with you. I don't have them at 4, but I would be surprised if they don't jump into the top 6 just off the back of assuming Giannis plays 70 games. He's too good. He's too good, and they have the right type of regular season skill around him. High usage. Giannis is going to have the ball. He's going to get to the free throw line a ton. He's going to rebound, and they're going to shoot a lot of threes, and they've got good shooters. Simple as that.
Yeah. I mean, I like the formula. I think it's kind of just tested. It's proven. Yeah. Like if Giannis goes down, they're completely screwed. But same with the Pistons. Like if Cade goes down, they're pretty screwed too. So, I just like them as a regular season team. In a playoff series, I would take the Pistons to beat them. In 7 probably, but
Yeah.
I like the makeup of the Pistons in a playoff series more than this Bucks team because they have a lot of one-way guys on this. Well, yeah, just not a ton of talent, frankly, is the problem with this Bucks team. But I'm assuming so. I've got Bucks 4, Hawks 5, Pistons 6. Although those 3 are basically interchangeable to me. So do you have Hawks 5 then after the Pistons?
Correct.
Yeah.
Myrene, I thought I addressed it, but it must have just been to Spoonie beforehand. This scratch on my face is not from fighting in the pub that I was a Celtics fan asked earlier. I was aggressively messaging in the Discord last weekend about Sam Hauser and Baylor Schreiman and just walked into a wall and sliced my nose open. So just improving my face one scratch at a time as we move through life here. Another reason that I was looking into HGH. Who knows? Maybe it'll prevent my face from being broken open. But it sounds like we're not guzzling the Hawks Kool-Aid in the same way that, like, I know Zach Lowe had them in his top tier, but I think that was just for a bit of spice and leaning into yeah, so he could do his caca. But like any team that starts with this sentence, if Kristaps Porzingis is healthy. Because if he is healthy, if he plays 65 games, then they're a good bet to be in that top tier to me. Because as we know, him and Trey as a 2-man game, like just being able to roll and pop, like that's just go to that shit over and over again, and you're getting good shots. And then having KP to defend the rim, I forget who was talking about it, but KP in a drop when it's Trae Young at point of attack, a little bit different to when it's Derrick White, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, etc. Payton Pritchard, but the team is deep. I think it's versatile. I like them. I just don't. I think that they're unproven still. They're still relying on some young guys. They got some health questions. And star power wise, I like Trae Young. I think I'm maybe higher on Trae Young than the consensus. I think he's one of the best offensive engines in the NBA. But you cap your ceiling with him out there. Can Dyson Daniels and Reece Shea carry these offensive lineups? I think they're going to be a really fun team to get around. Jalen Johnson's such a fun player, but I don't see them in that upper echelon. I see them more in this group here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Unless like I don't know, I don't really see it for Reece Shea, but hey, he's the number 1 pick. Like maybe he takes a bit of a star turn here, or if Jalen Johnson truly figures out how to shoot the damn ball, then I think I would bump them much closer to that Magic, Knicks-ish tier. But I really can't really bet on either of those things. They're deep, they're fun, but yeah, it's a Trae Young team. To me, that is like high 40s wins unless KP is super healthy and Jalen Johnson can shoot the ball. But I will say of this group, I think the Hawks have the highest ceiling, because I could see where this truly, truly goes right. And like Daniels takes another step offensively. Reece Shea does. Jalen Johnson is still awesome. And if KP plays 55, 60 games, all of a sudden they're really cooking. And they're deep, man. Like they've got Kennard now. At least they have a starting level center with a Kongwu when KP doesn't play. And they've got some kind of lottery tickets on the bench, like the guy they drafted, Asa Newell. I like is sort of he's hyper athletic, 6'10" guy. Buffkin looked really good in summer league. Who knows what the hell that means? But they're a really solid team. But I just like, to me, you can just go at Trae Young every time he's on the court, right? They were 2 points better with him off the court last year. Or 2 points worse, rather. I wouldn't be shocked if they're better with him off the court this year, simply because they're really deep and their defense is going to be fucking insane when he's not on the court, and they're going to be defending against bench units. Like, I think their best lineups will be Trae centric, but I just think there's going to be some games where it's like, wow, Trae came out and they got like 4 turnovers in 3 minutes and just blew the game open. But yeah, I just like Trae limits your ceiling to some degree. But if they won 55 games, it would not surprise me. Or even if they were in the higher 50s, it would surprise me if the Bucks got that high. But I just think the Bucks floor is higher.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see where their defense was last year. They were 18th defensively last season, which honestly, not
fine,
as bad, and they added to it this offseason with KP. And man, you are right though. Like they're going to be able to run some lineups where it's Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and then you have either a Okongwu or KP out there, and then you pick another wing, pick another guy you like defensively, Reece Shea, Asa Newell maybe. Hey, Vic Krejci down the line, not a great defender, but yeah. And if you're surrounding Trae with that many defenders, you can survive as long as he tries a little bit. And I thought that he did try more last season until like the wheels really fell off that team. So yeah, they're fucking deep, dude. Kennard, they got shooting, they got ball handling, they got decision makers. I like their team a lot for sure. Very fun. They're gonna be like a really good league pass team. But again, it all comes back to like ceiling wise. If Kristaps Porzingis is healthy, then this team could legit make some noise. But
Well, and I think a big concern too is, unlike us, who had Luke Cornett as our third center, who could easily step in and be really awesome for 20 minutes a night, they do not have a third center. So like when KP is hurt, it's a Kongwu and then like Asa Newell, Muhammad Gay. Like, what? Who are these guys? So I think that's a really big concern too, because unlike, Cade or Giannis, I think we can bake in that KP is going to miss 20 games. Like, there's just no doubt about it. And they just can't really stomach that with what they've got on the bench. So, but we should probably kind of get moving. We're already 40 minutes in.
I was thinking about this. So, okay, I feel like now there's another tier break unless you have anyone else. So maybe it's time to play the voicemail, or maybe do game time and then the voicemail, and we'll do the Celtics tier here.
All right, let me load this up. It is the summer. There are obviously a bunch of awesome events going on all over the country. In about 3 days, I will be off to Chicago to watch Everton play some football. They just got battered 3-0 by Bournemouth, so they are in mid-season form. But you know how I'm getting in the door in Chicago? Game time. It was super easy to get tickets. I just hopped on the app, searched for the game, and I was shown all the available tickets and all the best deals right on my phone. They're curated deals, making it even easier to find the best seats at the best prices. And their last-minute deals can get you tickets right up to the start of the event or even an hour after it starts. But maybe my favorite feature is the seat view. It'll show you exactly what it looks like from any seat before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download GameTime today. What time is it? GameTime. GameTime rules. I legit use this app all the time. Basically, anytime I'm going to an event or a game, my first stop is GameTime. So it's really easy. Get you the best deals. And pump in that CLNS and support the boys, support the show.
Hell yeah. So, okay. The Celtics are in this next group here.
Yeah.
I think. And that's 6 teams. And let's just say, for right now, let's just talk about the Celtics and what they've lost and trying to project, can they be good? Well, actually, play the
voicemail.
Play the voicemail.
And this question I'm asking with all seriousness. Look, in years past with the Celtics, we made Eastern Conference Finals when no one really thought that we would. We became number 1 seeds when no one thought that we could. Jay Crowder, Avery Bradley, and Isaiah Thomas, these Aaron Baines teams, all this type of stuff. If Tatum comes back at the end of the year, if he comes back in March, and the team is just cruising along, is there any chance at all that we can have another miracle season, another miracle Eastern Conference Finals appearance? You know the Boston Celtics culture. When players go down, we step up. I think the better's over-under is supposed to be like in the mid-40s or whatever. If we can get to 50 wins, you don't think we can beat a injured Pacers team or the New York Knicks or whoever? Am I in complete delusion land, or is there a chance?
All right.
Is there a chance?
First of all, shout out to Rondo Real Estate in the Discord. I believe if you're a paying member of the Patreon in the Discord, you'll have access to the voicemail channel. Keep them under a minute, but we're going to be running them here during the prime off season. So Jake, take it away.
So I love it. And I do think there's a world where Jaylen takes a step forward. We talked about we had the leap episode. Efficient scoring, 3-point shot kind of comes back. The decision making is good. Pritchard has not Brunson-esque, because that's just so rare, but like a legitimate step forward. Derrick White, we've always kind of believed, could probably handle more responsibility. We cater. Gaza. Brad nails it. Ugo is the guy. Bale, there's a lot of big ifs here. But I do think that there is a world where they can jump into the top 6. I don't think it's going to happen. And then if that happens and Tatum comes back and he's like 85, 90% of the same guy, then yeah. But that, if in the range of outcomes, that to me is like in the 0 to 5% chance of happening range.
I just can't imagine a world where we're going into the playoffs and our starting center is Neemias Queta. Like, dude, there's no chance. It honestly doesn't matter if Tatum comes back healthy, because with a center rotation like this, like, you just can't play in the playoffs. Like, I like Queta. like he has turned himself into an NBA low-level rotation guy from where he was 2 years ago. That's awesome. He's going to make a lot of money, and he's probably going to be in the NBA for a long time. If he is your starting center in the playoffs, you are probably not getting out of the first round. So like that is my primary concern. And I think we're talking about the team as constructed right now and not trying to predict like, well, maybe they'll trade Simons for a center, whatever. So I just don't see it, man. Like I love the question. I love that people are still being, positive about the upcoming season. I will still be watching every game like I always do, but like, we just got to let it go. It's not happening this year, guys. It's not.
Yeah, I don't see it. So I had a look at like the lineup data and wanted to see where Pritchard, Derrick, and Jaylen rank. So we had 24 three-man lineups that played at least 400 minutes. Pritchard, Derrick, and Jaylen ranked 18th out of 24th of all three-man lineups. 5.8 net rating, which in a vacuum, 5.8 net rating, that would be good for fourth in the entire NBA for the regular season. The problem is a couple of things. You don't get to play all three of your best players for all of the minutes. They probably shared the court for 90% of those minutes with one of Tatum, Horford, Porzingis, Cornette, or Drew Holiday. And now you're replacing those guys with Cater, Simons, Baylor. Like, obviously, Hauser would have been part of that group as well. For context, our best three-man group had a 19 net rating compared to 5.8. Our next best three groups all included Al Horford, gone unless something changes. Our fifth best had Cornette. Our sixth best was Horford, Tatum, Drew. All three of those guys are no longer on the team. So, like, we're going to miss Tatum. We know that. Al Horford, if he's gone, dude, I don't think we understand. Like, yes, we know he would ramp it up and down. The sturdiness and the reliability of him on both ends, night in, night out, 60 games, it's just, you can't replicate it. The shooting, the passing, the connectiveness, like, and by the way, like every lineup at the bottom of that list included Porzingis. Like we should have seen it coming, despite the illness not happening. But yeah, man, the team is a lot worse. Like a lot worse.
Yeah, straight up. Like, yeah, man, like 5 points per 100 better with Al Horford on the court than off. I just don't functionally understand how you can expect this team to win like more than I don't even think they can win a round if that's their center rotation. But yeah, like, and now Simons is a huge part of this team. I don't trust him in the playoffs at all defensively. This team has like holes, like serious gaping holes that we just have never had. Like we haven't had in a very long time. And part of that is because the Jays can paper over a lot of serious gaping holes. But like Tatum's not here. Like he held together a lot of very shitty lineups and made them really awesome. And without him, if Derrick White goes down, like the season's basically over. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and like Jaylen too, like obviously the same with Jaylen, but I just mean like even for the bench minutes when those guys are off the court, Tatum would play with like Luke Cornette, Baylor, Hauser, and Pritchard, and they would, be a plus 30 in like 100 minutes over the season. Like that is not a thing anymore, and that won us a bunch of basketball games in the regular season. So like I think I'm considerably lower on the Celtics than like some of our more positive fans. Like if you ask me, is it more likely they win 55 or like 35? I 55. Would bet on 30, or like 50 or 35. 50.
Yeah.
I would bet on 35. Like I think we're closer to 35 than 50.
Yeah, you think there are some big gaping holes now. What if Jaylen misses 10 games? Like this team will collapse in on itself. Yeah. They're a Cater injury away from legitimately trying to like roll out Xavier Tillman on one leg or play Amari Williams. Like this is insane. But Baylor and Walsh are legit rotation guys. Meaning, I like Niang. I'm a Niang guy. The rebounding on this team is a fucking disaster. Cater does not defensive rebound. Tatum was our best rebounder for years. Cornette, pause. All of the bigs are gone. Turnovers are going to be a problem. Like, unless they finagle when the Grizzlies would always somehow have a top 10 regular season offense based on just offensive rebounding and running a lot.
Yeah.
That is their only path. To me, it looks like to being a top 10 offense. And defensively, I think they have a real chance to be in the bottom 5. A real chance to be a bottom 5. It's so easy to slice through gaping holes when you've got guys like Luka Garza protecting the rim and Anthony Simons at the point of attack.
Oh man. Okay, maybe the way to do this is go through some of these teams and see if you take them over the Celtics, at least in the regular season. Sixers.
What are you supposed to do with this team?
No,
what are you supposed to do with this team?
Just had surgery somehow.
Yeah. Embiid just had a 40,000 word story done on him.
Novel.
I think it's more likely than not that the Celtics are better than the Sixers, just because I expect Embiid to play less than 40 games, and at this point I expect Paul George to play less than 50 games. So that's the problem. This is my problem with the tank now. I was really looking at it today. I'm like, the East is collapsing around itself. Halliburton just had to fucking tear his Achilles as well. Tribute to Tatum, shout out, appreciate it, but couldn't have just done it the following year. But yeah, the Sixers, man, and their roster construction is weird. All their best players are small guards. Maxey, McCain, Grimes, and VJ Edgecombe. They don't really have wings that you can trust in a 82-game regular season. So
Not a Kelly Oubre guy.
not if he's your starting small forward.
They don't
have a power forward.
Trendon Watford, my guy.
That's true. Yeah, he's
he's gonna be a starter.
Yeah.
So they don't have a center when Embiid doesn't play. Drummond is starting. They're gonna really miss Yabu. Miss Yabu. Because Drummond is currently their starting center anytime Joel Embiid misses time, unless you trust Janai Broom a whole lot, a rookie from Auburn. I would not trust him at all. Or Adem Bona. Again, don't trust him either. So they're in trouble. Justin Edwards, I really like. Not a big wing. More of a 2-3 than a 3-4. I don't. Yeah, I mean, you're banking on Paul George and Embiid playing 55, 60 games each, and if that's the case, I think they will be better than us. I do not think that's going to be the case, so I would take the Celtics over the Sixers for sure.
Yeah, there's a world though where the Sixers are better, because all that needs to happen is Embiid plays 53 games, and that probably pushes them ahead of the Celtics. As much as I'm not an Embiid guy, just his sheer presence is enough to drag them to regular season wins. This team I have ahead of the Celtics, and it's Miami.
Yeah. I like what they've done. It's annoying.
Yeah. Going back to that 3-man lineup group, Bam, Hero, and Ware had a 7 net rating. They had 3-man groups that were ahead of the Celtics, Pritchard, Jaylen, and Derrick group, which I remind you, got to play all their minutes with guys that are no longer on the team that were very good. Top 10 defense last season. I know Jimmy Butler was there for a bunch of it, but that was a weird, he was half playing. I don't know, do I bake in that when Jimmy was there, that helped them be good or be bad? I don't really know how I feel about it, but Bam bounced back. Khalil, where they got a few young guys that I can see some progression from. They just always have a top 10 defense. And the Norm Powell trade, they got him for nothing. And that's what they desperately needed. They desperately needed offense. And Norm Powell, dude, he's a freak shooter. And will be really able to help loosen up defenses in a way that they didn't have before. So I like that group of, I don't know how they're going to do it exactly, but Hero, Bam, Ware, Wiggins, Norm Powell, Davion Mitchell, just enough pieces that I know Spoelstra is going to be able to cook up a high floor in the regular season.
Haywood Highsmith's like a
Yes.
NBA rotation wing. Fontecchio, I can't believe
Oh
you
my
didn't
God, I
mention your
forgot.
guy, Simone.
Oh, he's
They're-
all-star
Yeah.
season incoming.
Probably. He's going to average like 21 on 62 true shooting. Pell Larson looked really good in Summer
yeah.
League. Big
He's
wing
good.
that can kind of handle the ball a little bit. Like Jovic, maybe he figures it out. They're really deep, man. They got a lot of wings. And I'm not even talked about Jaime Jaquez Jr., who like maybe he kind of rediscovers the magic a little bit. So
Yeah, maybe he
They
broke up
lack-
with Spo's ex, and maybe he
Yeah.
can click the,
Yeah,
fix
it
the
would be
team
better,
chemistry.
yeah. Chemistry's a lot better now. They lack some ball handling, which I think is a concern.
Agree.
But otherwise, I mean, Hero can obviously kind of run your point guard, but then it's like Davion Mitchell, and then asking some of these bigger wings to handle the ball a little bit, which isn't bad, and Bam handles it. So I really like their team. I just think they're deep, and they're gonna rattle off the Miami Heat. Like we win all these games because we shoot 40% tonight, and you don't. And they just can get you down into the mud and grind games down. So yeah, I would take the Heat over the Celtics. They're just solid, and they're super well coached, and those guys have played together a long time. They're going to have a great defense. And they've got young dudes who might pop, too, have a legitimate chance to pop.
Yeah, post All-Star break, they were 12th in net rating, despite being 12 and 17 record-wise. Like, high floor, and they've got some upside stuff. Khalil Ware, man, if he just fixes, if he just, I hate to say it, injects like a little bit of Heat culture into him, he's going to be fucking awesome. He's going to be awesome. Yeah, I have the Heat ahead of us for sure. I think they're just more well-balanced. Like, having that hole at the big man spot for the Celtics is just going to be catastrophic. Just like the margins, the stuff that we've talked about being so valuable for the Celtics, the margins, the turnovers, the rebounding, the Heat are all going to be good in those spots.
Yeah.
I have the Heat ahead. Now it gets tricky, though. Pacers, Raptors, Bulls, like that group. I think the Pacers are still going to be solid, but they're, to me, flip a coin. And this is what makes the tank hard, is like Halliburton had to tear his Achilles as well. The Sixers are collapsing in on themselves. There was a report today that if the Bulls can't find a trade for Vucevic, they're going to like release him. It's like there's a 1 year that they don't try and make the play-in is going to be the year that they actually fall into the bottom five. So that's that group right there. The team that actually I think that could be better than the Celtics is the Raptors.
Yeah.
They played hard for Darko last season, and while all of their guys are overpaid, like every single one, quickly, one of the worst contracts. They handed a multi-$30 million extension to Yucca Purtle for some reason. They paid Brandon Ingram $40 million a year. Like all the contracts, like they're almost a second apron team, and they're going to be fighting for the play-in. But I do think that they have got good players, good size. I'm not a huge Scotty Barnes guy, but I can see him taking a step forward. I think they've like Grady Dick, Agbaji, some guys down there that I think could develop a little bit. I like, who's the guy that drafted? Not Carter Bryant. Boyle. Murray Boyle.
Oh, yeah, Colin Murray Boyles.
Yeah, like him.
He's a beast.
Yeah. So I could easily see them being better than the Celtics, but I wouldn't like. This is the point of the whole thing. It's like I think we're in the same tier as Miami, Philly, Toronto, and Indy. Just turn the dial a little bit more and make sure you're worse than those teams.
Exactly. That's the move. Yeah, man. Toronto's really deep. They're always going to play hard. You didn't even mention our guy Jamal Shed, absolute monster
God.
Defensively.
Dog.
They're really deep. They are like Jacoby Walter too. It was like I think a late first or a early second a couple years ago. They got Mama. They got Sandra Mamaskelishvili.
Oh, that's actually legit.
Yeah, man. So like they're good. I hate Brandon Ingram on this team. I think he makes absolutely no sense and has a potential to make them worse. But they nonetheless, he's on it. But he gives you some ball handling. I guess he just seems so redundant with Scotty Barnes, but he's talented. So I don't know, man. I think maybe I'm too low on the Celtics, but it just seems like we have such a glaring hole at the 5. Like Pirtle would be amazing on the Celtics,
Right.
and then Mama as his backup, and like Mogbo is young. Like
Yeah.
maybe he figures it out. I think I think I'm taking the Raptors. Fuck it. I don't know, dude. But you're right. Turn the dial, man. Like,
Yeah.
no back-to-backs for Derrick or Jaylen.
So the Raptors were 26th in offense last season, and so that's why you need Brandon Ingram. And I know, and quickly just I feel like has barely played as a Raptor since he got traded
Keeps
there.
getting
And
hurt.
so if he can be healthy, and then I'm not an Ingram guy either, but he is good. Like if he can just like, I feel like it feels like asking Russell Westbrook to just do the good parts of the Russell Westbrook experience. But if he can take more catch and shoot threes as an Ingram and defend a little bit, like they desperately need someone that can just create in the half court and get tough buckets, and that is what he does. So for a team that was 26th in offense, they do desperately need a really good offensive player. To Derek's question in the chat here about how do we turn the dial, should Brad send out some guys like Hauser to get worse? Make sure you move Niang at some point. Simons, I just don't. Yeah, trade Simons for salary relief and pick or whatever, or you keep him. But the most important thing is you just said it. No back-to-backs for Jaylen and Derrick, and keep their minutes down. I don't want to see Jaylen averaging 36, 37 minutes a night. I want to see him averaging 32 is probably, like a wish cast and not going to happen. But they shouldn't be having career highs in minutes. They just shouldn't. They shouldn't be playing back-to-backs. And then you shouldn't be overplaying Niang and Simons over Ugo, Baylor, Walsh. And I expect it to kind of start with Niang and Simons playing more, but then as we get into the season, and especially as we move past the deadline, that's when you see the young guys go. But yeah, there's no depth on this team. Like the starting lineup of Jaylen, Derrick, Pritchard, or Simons, and then Hauser's a starter all of a sudden. I love Hauser, not a starter on a good team. And then you're Cater, and you're bringing Niang off the bench as your like sixth man, or Pritchard. And then your backup big man is Gaza. And then is Baylor getting the first shot? I know some people believe in him, but he's your eighth guy, your ninth guy.
Yeah. Baylor and Jordan Walsh are your eighth and ninth men. Like it's pretty grim, man. I guess the question before we wrap up here is, are we worse than the Bulls? And I think that's where I draw the line.
So do I. Yeah. Shout out to Austin316. Listening to an Australian talk about the NBA is redundant. I don't think you know what redundant means, firstly.
No.
And secondly, I am technically American. And plenty of great Australians talking about basketball out there. But I would check your dictionary first before writing certain comments. But I appreciate you tuning in. The Bulls, especially if they're considering trading or getting rid of Vooch, then they're going to be in the same place that we are, big man-wise. And with Zach Collins as your starter, who can't stay healthy and is definitely not a starter in the NBA.
Yeah.
But I agree. That's where I draw the line. I think the median outcome, if they tried their hardest, would be the 8th seed. And if that's the reality, 7 seed and a good outcome, high end is 6 seed, but like more likely 7, 8, 9. You have to lean into it. You have to lean into it. Like you're trying to build a roster around Jaylen and Jayson. You got to try and get yourself like the 10th best lottery odds, or better, obviously.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Jake's battery ran out. Can you hear me still, Jake?
I still can hear you.
Okay.
I'll fix my my camera here.
Yeah, like I just don't see it with the Bulls, essentially. It's a lot of Kobe White, who I like, but I'm taking Jaylen over Kobe White, and I'm taking Derrick White over anybody on their roster. And I think that matters. Like, you're basically banking on a massive jump for Buzelis, who, again, big fan. We like Buzelis, but I don't think he's in for a star turn in his second season. Maybe in like 4 years. I just don't see it next year. So the Bulls are where I draw the line. Do you have any hot takes on Charlotte, Nets, or Wiz?
I wanted to go Charlotte because I think that they're actually doing smart things. Kalkbrenner, Diabate, they've got big man problems in the exact same way that we do. I legit actually was kind of slowly talking myself into them. And then I saw this. I'm not sure if you saw this. LaMelo Ball got this tattoo on his feet yesterday. And if you're listening to this, he got hot Cheetos on, like, he turned the bottom of his, like, where his toes start to, like, where they end into hot Cheetos as a tattoo. He did this on purpose. There's no chance that they're good. There's a 0% chance. Like, I don't know anything about tattoos, but if I was a professional athlete, I would not want this happening to my fucking feet. What are you doing, dude? And aside, like, bad tattoos, I know there's some people that don't think that Jayson Tatum has cool tattoos. There's a very, very big difference between bad tattoos and brain rot. True brain rot. This guy has brain rot, and I cannot take them serious. He is the epitome of the Succession Logan Roy clip. You are not serious people. He is not a serious person. Trade him now. Have 10 good games and trade him. Like, there's no chance. There's no chance.
I love this team if they trade LaMelo Ball. They don't even need to get anything back for him. No, that's not true. But if, like, they could just find somebody decent to get back for him, like, they've got Sexton now, and, like, I think this might be the year Brandon Miller, like, kind of puts it together. He needs to stay healthy, but he's got a chance to be really, really awesome, like a dude you can legitimately build your team around. I love Knipple. He's fantastic. Like, Bridges obviously is a horrible person, but he's a really damn good NBA wing. Like, he had kind of a down year last year, but
I wouldn't go that far.
He's a solid NBA wing.
I would definitely wouldn't go that far because he can't shoot it really. He doesn't shoot it. Like, I want to say he's like he hasn't cracked 34% in the past couple of seasons.
Oh, really? I thought.
Yeah.
He was at
31,
35. Yeah.
33. So, like, he's a career 34%. So he's a classic. He's a classic. Looks good.
That's
and, like,
true. He looks cool when he's doing shit.
Yeah. So I'm down. I think he's but definitely, like, a replacement, like above replacement level wing, and they have real NBA players up and down the roster outside of the big man spot though.
Yeah,
and
that's a problem.
I know they did. Hey, Kalkbrenner. I mean, did he get snubbed as Summer League MVP from his teammate Knipple? Don't know, but yeah, him and Diabate as your big man. Like, you copy paste Gaza and Cater. I think that they're in the same tier of group there, so I can't move them up. They're over under us 27.5.
Yeah.
So, like, the Nets, Wizards, Hornets, those are the three teams I wouldn't try. I'd bet my life would be better than the Hornets, but I'm pretty close. But I'd bet my life we're better than the Wizards and the Nets, unless you Alex Saad, not exactly an awesome second summer league either.
Well, who cares about the summer league? All right, that's not real games. He's just working on stuff. He's working on the handle, working on the jumper, shooting some pull-ups. That's all that matters. He wasn't out there. Yeah, the Wizards are going to be horrible. They are so young. It is absurd how many dudes under, like, 24 years old they have on this. It's got to be like 11 or 12. I'm not kidding, man. It's crazy. 24 or younger. I think it's like 11, which you just aren't going to win basketball games when, like, 75% of your roster is under the age of 25. That's just not really how it works. I like a lot of their guys on their team. They just don't really have the dude that you can point to and say, like, this dude's going to be the next Washington Wizards superstar. But the Nets, kind of feel the same way. They have 5 first-round picks on their roster. Like, these teams, I would put Charlotte well above these two teams.
Their win total is 7 wins above for a reason. Before we go, if you have time, Ben Simmons, there's some fake report or, like, not super trustworthy reporters out there basically confirming that he's on the team. I'm not going to go that far yet. Haven't gotten your thoughts on the Ben Simmons thing here. There's a lot of people in the chat that want him and think that we should bring him in. Would you bring him in?
Absolutely fucking not. I'm with you. Like, he's a loser. We want no part of Ben Simmons. at all. I don't want to watch him play basketball. I don't want to deal with like the memes and the circus that surrounds Ben Simmons when he goes to a team. I don't want him taking minutes from Josh Minott because, like, what is the point? What is the point of Ben Simmons? And I think you made the ultimate point about why it's useless. If he plays awesome and it works, we can't keep him anyway. So why? It's no. Like, and if he somehow, like, his defense and passing is good enough that I think he maybe is a slight positive in the regular season. No, thank you. I don't want slight positives. I want the young guys to play to see what the hell we have with them. That's the whole point of this season. No, thank you, Ben Simmons.
Couldn't have said it better myself, because he plugs holes we need. Would help with the rebounding that we're going to have problems with. Going to help with the defense that we're going to have problems with. Like, if he helps us win 3 extra regular season games and then leaves, what's the point?
Yeah,
like
there is none.
Because if Jimmy J, if the 5% chance of Simmons finding it happens, he will be gone next season because someone will sign him to a bigger contract that we cannot afford. So the only thing that he will have done is improve our regular season record and then suck in the playoffs. I can hear an argument that he can be a competent regular season player. Playoffs, no. You know what? I figured it out, Spoonie. Ben Simmons is the Michael Jordan of Delano Bantams. He is the greatest theoretical player of all time. The fact that he never played for the Boomers, one, because he didn't want to, and then because they didn't want him, is the biggest indictment of anything. Like, the fact that he didn't want to be around that culture. And, like, Americans, they don't quite get it like the rest of the world. Like, look at Porzingis and Luka and Jokic. Like, Jokic cared so much more about the fucking Olympics. Like, these like international teams, like, winning a gold medal or bronze medal is so much of a bigger deal than winning the NBL title. So much bigger than winning, like, for Real Madrid, like France winning, like Evan Fournier and those guys. The fact that he never played for the Boomers, it is such an indictment. It's hard to fully comprehend. And if I just don't want that fucking guy around Ugo. I want Ugo around Payton Pritchard.
Yeah, Ugo needs to be around the other folks who want to kill everyone else on the basketball court. Ben Simmons is the opposite of that. The young socialite is the perfect nickname for him. That's all he cares about is his social status and going out getting and drinking on the town. Which for some reason I just talked like I'm from the 1950s. All he cares about is drinking on the town with the gals. But
it's true though.
Yeah, it is true.
Which is why I don't think why he would come here anyway. Like, it doesn't fit his thing, his stuff. But the Joe and Ben Simmons thing would, because Joe just wouldn't deal with it. He'd be like, shoot a fucking 3, you coward. Mm-hmm. He would say it to his face. And so for that's the only part of this that I would enjoy, I think. Other than that, get me out.
Really quick on the international thing, like, look at how pissed Jaylen was when he didn't make Team USA.
Sure.
Like, and Ben Simmons is like, nah, I'm good, man. I think I'd rather shoot threes in an empty gym and post them as TikToks. It's like, fuck that guy. No, thank you. Yeah. All right. Should we get out of here?
That was awesome. Appreciate everybody being here. But yeah, man, good to see you. I will be gone for the next week, going to New Zealand. Hit the slopes, probably injure myself in 4 different new ways. So look forward to reporting back on that. But yeah, I'll be out for a week here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out Wednesday through Friday. So me and Ben will probably try to catch up next weekend. But this will probably be a slow week. I am gonna do a breakdown during lunchtime, either tomorrow or Tuesday. But I'll post that out in the Discord on Patreon. So that is going to do it for this one. Jake, have a good trip, man. Enjoy yourself. Yeah, try to avoid any more injuries. We'll try to keep you in one piece. But all right, we are out. Peace.